Hey there, this is Nicole Emily, the Social Worker Strategy Mentor. I hope that you're well. I am I'm more than slightly late today. I'm usually on Tuesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. Okay, that's when you can catch me live. Slightly later today due to some unforeseen circumstances. But today I'm going to be talking to you about the fact that there is certainty in running your own business. One of the key things that social workers always say, and even people outside of the industry that worry about starting a business, they say it's uncertainty. How do I know that I'm going to get paid every month? How am I going to bring an income in? Can I be sure? How am I going to be able to do this on my own? I've got all these other things going on. And so there's a lot of worry around uncertainty and about it not being as secure as having a main job or being employed by somebody or being in an agency where they're finding you the work. Okay, but today I'm going to be talking about the fact that there is certainty, and I'm going to tell you how you get that certainty. So if that's of interest to you, stick around and tag another social worker that you know, share it on your page so that other social workers can hear this. And if this is something that you're going to want some support with, being able to talk through, help to really make a shift in this area so that you can get a lot of clarity for your own personal circumstance, DM me the word launcher and we can have a conversation. Okay, so I'm going to get into it. Basically, how this conversation came about, why I thought this would be a good topic to talk about is because I spoke with somebody today, but one of my mentees in particular, I can remember when she first started with me, she had a lot of fear around the certainty. She had a lot of worries. This was something that was actually stopping her from moving forward. It had been years since she had been thinking about independence, but she hadn't really taken any steps towards it. We had had a couple of conversations prior to her actually starting to work with me. And it was because she was just concerned, among other things, she was concerned about what she was going to do. She didn't have a clue, but she was also worried. A big thing was the money and really not being sure about whether she could afford it. She is a lone parent with a young daughter under the age of 10. And so she was worried about how she was going to move forward and sustain it. She wasn't sure whether she had the skills, whether she had the know-how, and whether whatever ideas she may come up with would actually work. And so during our time together and our work, not just in that particular session having that conversation, she was able to get a lot more certainty in terms of how she felt about moving forward. But of course, when she did decide to move forward, that was based on something, right? It was based on the conversation that we had had that helped her to make that shift. But certainly once she was on the program now, and we've gone through the sessions and she's got the clarity and understanding exactly the pieces that I'm going to share with you, she is super confident. She's got no doubt in her mind that she's going to smash it, that she's going to do it. She doesn't have any concerns about whether she's going to be able to afford to continue the business. And she is very, very hopeful and optimistic about the date that she's going to walk away from her main job. And so if this is something that you're wanting to achieve, as I said, stick around and you can private DM me, and you can put the word launch, and I know that you're going to want some support in this area. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you how she went from feeling so uncertain, so unsure, completely nervous, really something that caused her to procrastinate and feel stuck, to actually taking the plunge, doing it, and now done a complete 180 and is super confident, so clear about what she needs to do, how she's going to do it, and has no fear about not being able to make money from this. So I'm going to share with you the 4 key areas. So this time we get your notepad and pen, okay? And I'm going to talk you through it. So write these down. Number 1, the one thing that you're going to do to ensure that you have certainty is know what you're doing. You've got to know what you're doing first and foremost. That seems like an obvious thing, but the amount of times I'm hearing people are starting businesses within the industry and they're really not clear about what it is to start a business. They've not got the business acumen. They're not clear about how to do the basics of putting together the infrastructure of a business so that they get paid on time when they do get paid, so that they can ensure that they're getting paid and getting paid their worth. but also knowing how to actually help their clients on a deeper level, not just, it's not just about throwing something out there. And so structuring a business also that fits around your lifestyle rather than the other way around. So really know what you're doing, like who is your audience, who are you actually serving, and what are their needs, and understand that on a very deep level, and understand the process of how to figure that out. So that's the one thing that's going to create certainty. The second thing, and this is particular, I'm talking about certainty, I'm talking about certainty in a range of areas, but especially financial. And so the second thing is have a, a repertoire of services and products that are actually helping your clients. Okay. So a lot of times when independent social workers go and do this thing independently, they're just doing assessments and reports. And the reality is, you know, most people are fed up of being assessed, and most of the time social workers are fed up of doing assessments. It's a nice thing to do. I enjoyed the assessment process, but would I want to do that day in and day out independently? I don't know. At some point, it kind of gets old and gets stale. I guess when you're working in local authority, there's a bit of a buzz because of the array of clients that you're working with simultaneously, with the different processes and the sheer number of timescales you're working with. It gives you don't get time to get bored, basically. But when you are doing it independently, you're not going to be run rugged in that way. So there's a monotony that tends to develop. I can say that I've seen it from the people that I've mentored and who have come to me for support. And so being really clear about what you're providing for those that you want to serve, and understand that that has to be more than assessments and reports. It needs to be services that are really filling the gap and that are going to do something in terms of making a transformation for your clients. So that's the second thing that creates certainty. The third thing is having proper goals. Yeah, having very clear goals for your business. What do you want to, the income that you want to have come in? And there's a process in which I call that I have a wealth goal consultation that I provide, where I help you, drill down on that. You have to be very clear. It's a whole formula and a system that allows you to come to a number. You can't just pluck a number out of the air. So being clear about the goal, what do you actually want to achieve? And again, this links to who you're serving and what you're going to be providing them. That determines the part of your goal, but also then what action steps you're going to be taking. And so when you're thinking about what you want for your business, you also have to think about what you want for your life. So what are your goals? Because they interrelate. Yeah, you're not just your business is not just your business and your entity somewhere over there. When you're working for yourself, you and your business are one. And so you need to be very clear about what goals you have, and making sure you have a proper plan that's realistic and that doesn't set you up for failure. Okay, and there's a process to that. And then number four, the fourth and final thing is taking the right action consistently. Okay, that's how you get certainty, ensuring that the action that you are taking is based on something that is part of a breadcrumb trail that leads you to the end result, which is the certainty, the financial certainty, the sustainability of your business, the actual fact that your business is actually really making a difference in people's lives. All of those things are what contribute to the certainty, and particularly the financial certainty. And so it's really important that those four things are things that you have on your list and that you're working through them. And all of these things are deep processes to formulate and put together and ensure that they are married up and relating. And so again, if this is something that you want support with, DM me the word launcher. It's really important that social workers who want to be independent and that want to do these kind of things, this is important, because if you're wanting to make a difference and you're wanting to impact lives, not just your own life first and foremost, because you want to impact your own life first and foremost so that you can be in a good position and working from a place of overflow to impact the lives of others. But more than that, this is something for social workers. When we have our conversations, for social workers who get and understand that there's more to independence than assessments. They want to serve on a deeper level. They actually want to make sure that when they are working and they're going into business, they're not going to be working harder or just as hard as they have been in local authority, but they're creating their business in a way that actually aligns with not just their values and beliefs, but actually fits in with their life where they are now. Because oftentimes when we start this role, many of us are like 20 years deep in this. And when we started out, we're in a very different place to where we are now. And so we have to take stock of our health, we have to take stock of our family, our relationships, where we're living in the world, and our age, and where we're trying to get to also in the next chapters of our lives. And so if this is something that is of interest to you, then please do DM me the word launcher. But outside of that, make a note of this list that I've given you and start working on it. And you can let me know in the comments, what pieces you may have already done and how you found the process, and how is it helping you? How do you think this might help you to create certainty? Because these are the 4 keys that are some of the big rocks around having certainty, having consistent income coming in, and making sure that you are feeling fulfilled also in what you do. So I hope this has been helpful, and I will speak with you again on Sunday. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays are live days at 6 p.m. See you then.